Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict joined by Eric Shamalov. Good morning, Eric. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope everyone watching had a good weekend. An interesting Friday, a complete change of direction, a complete gamma squeeze, zero DTE, typical playbook. The S&P futures off the low ran almost actually ran over 200 points, which is almost 3 and change percent, and the S&P for the year is up 30 basis points. So I somehow don't know how it happened, but they rescued everything from the brink of, the beginning of a correction. And even with the move we had Friday, Nasdaq is still down on the year. S&P barely up, and the Dow is shining bright because the trade that the computer linkage is on is buy Dow, buy small cap and sell everything else. And as you know, that's a very defensive posture. And if that continues or keeps going on, the market is going to head much, much lower here, in my
And
opinion.
it is going on, even though the market gapped up a little bit last night. You look at the board now. You and I
Well,
were texting last night, right? And now Nasdaq is underperforming those indices that you just mentioned.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's going to be that until it's not that. But that doesn't bother me or make me more freaked out as just where we are and how. Listen, we opened on Friday at a 24 vol. Inherent was even higher, and now we're back to where we were with zero vol and nobody thinking anything. And they have everybody just so relaxed that it's the same year as always. And my question to you, because I was thinking about this a little over the weekend. Um, Nobody sold. Last week, I probably had the most texts that I've had in a while about the market and what do they do and how do they hedge and they're down so much money and this and that, and then the market has one up day big and nobody even cares. So the answer is, in my mind, no one's selling no matter where we go. Bitcoin could go to 40,000, 30,000, and no one will sell. They're not going to ever sell it, dude. They're never going to sell it. They're never going to sell Nvidia. They're never going to sell Oracle. They're never going to sell any of these stocks. So the question is there going to be a point in time, whether it's, this month, which, I don't think we're near out of the woods this month. But is it going to be this month, or is it going to be, later on, that we actually, these stocks are performing this way, Eric, and we haven't even had a correction of any sort? Like, you were calling at me, yelling at me Thursday night that I'm not short the market. I mean, literally yelling at me, and we actually were long.
Hold on.
Yes, you
Can,
are.
do I get any timeouts on the podcast or no?
You can have as many timeouts as you want. I
All right,
mean, it
well then
doesn't matter. You could say
I'm
whatever.
gonna
I know
call.
you
All
were.
right, well,
Just tell everyone you were short, okay? And you covered the low,
well,
the dead
yeah.
low, and you made money. Whatever, dude. But you were calling and
Well,
yelling at me. How could I not be short? How could I not be short?
how could you
And
not
then
be
they
sure?
ripped everybody's head off. I mean, literally. And
You're
and
right.
the truth is, I do believe we're heading a lot lower. Um, it's the same mantra this morning. Market gapped open for absolutely no reason. Okay. Then it came in, traded lower overnight. And then my drive to work, it's like this: buy it back. And then they realize, hey, maybe they're not going to buy today. But there are interesting trades out there. Bitcoin overnight on Thursday night traded 60,500, or maybe even a little lower. Okay. But it stayed there for such a short period of time that no one could even think about doing anything. So, what's been interesting about the Bitcoin trade, which I want to really go over and tell everyone about, was it got to 130,000. Then we were really, really bearish. It was coming in, but it was coming in slowly. It was going to 110, 100. We didn't see stops. Then it incinerated 20%. So that low was 71,000 and change, kind of the high level that we got to last night. Okay. this thing is due for another leg lower. Probably nobody has sold out. Everybody's, holding hands, and it's interesting if you look at MSTR got to like an 8% premium, and it's still a premium. And then on Friday, MSTR ran 25% when Bitcoin ran 9. So they stuck a huge premium in that again. I don't know why. Maybe they caught people short. I'm not really sure. Probably so, into earnings. But to me, Bitcoin probably should go back down into the low 60,000s or maybe 65,000 to be ripe to at some point look to make a trade in it. Again, these stocks go crazy. Like we'll talk about, like Robinhood's got massive issues, but they ran the stock in one day and it's up again today. They're running the stock 20%. I don't know what got 20% better. Maybe these stocks are oversold, but I do think potentially we could see legs lower in a lot of these things.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know,
I think I struggle to pinpoint the exact reason why the market went up that much on Friday. It could be
it's exactly
maybe
what I told you. It's exactly what I told you. Zero
right, but
DT,
since
zero.
since
Just,
we're
just
since we're product of the environment, as you say, and we need a
Why are we
reason.
product of the environment? It's what it is. There's zero DT. Dude, the market overnight was full sell mode. Okay. People are selling options, they're doing whatever they're doing, and then you rip up 200 handles. It's the biggest update we've seen from low to high in a lot of years. I can't even remember a 250 update or a 220 update. Okay. Maybe the day, that the president tweeted, but that's over three and change percent off the low. So a lot of that move at the end of the day was gamma. And you even said it to me. You're like, that's a gamma squeeze or whatever you called it. I don't even know what you said, but you said, they squeezed it up to cash everything out. And then then it's a whole new ball game. And like today, everybody's mantra has changed in my mind in one trading day, Eric. People were scared. Volatility was up. The technology stocks were failing. Tech was probably 4% off, um, from the opening, after the close on Thursday night. Tech was probably off 3-4%. And in one day rallied 3% to get back to where it is. So the question is here, you know, the market to me doesn't feel good. Okay. But the question is, are we going to go back to that low? I think we will. And then I think the computer lost its mind on Friday with the Dow Jones being up 1,300 and trading over 50,000. And they ramped this thing so hard. Like, usually when we have the round number, whether it's 10, I remember when we crossed 10,000, I remember we crossed 20, 30, now 40, and now 50. Like, there's no celebration. There's almost like shock. People are like, what? 50,000? Like, where is the Dow going from here? I know it's going to 100,000. I mean, dude, it's crazy. The Dow was 800 when I started. So I think people, the computer lost its mind at the end of the day and ripped the market crazy. And, it was probably Jane and Ken, and they probably made a ton of money gamma squeezing. And now we're on to a new day. But for me, the stuff out there still looks kind of the same to me. It looks a little bit scary. I'm just saying, just my opinion. Um, you know, um, but Vol, they took the whole listen, we had a 24 Vol on the opening on a down like 1% move. I mean, what's gonna happen when we really go down? Like let's say we had a down day like the update we just had. What's gonna happen to Vol? What's it gonna go to 30 in one day? I mean, it was 24 off of you know, off and inherent was even more. Like when we reopened, puts 150 lower, which were like 6600s, were bid. They were bidding everything. So one day changes the mantra of everything, I guess. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Price is king until it's not. So price is higher now, and everybody is satisfied. And we'll see. We'll see what that is. But like looking at stuff on Thursday was it was really, it was actually, Eric, it was a little scary to me. And what I mean by that is on the reopening in silver, it was down 14% on the reopening and then was green on the day. Okay. Gold was down 5% and then went green on the day. And all these things are still higher. Okay. So silver traded 64 and it traded 82. That's a 25% move in 2 trading days. You think that makes any kind of sense whatsoever? I mean, it's not fundamentals, it's not anything. It's like a total casino. Like, listen, if you're going to trade commodities, I mean, you got to be ready, like you said, for the odd lot trade, the one micro mini for 10 silver points. Silver didn't move $10 for 30 years, 40 years. It didn't move $10. And now it's moving $10 every night. What is that telling you?
It's broken. It's a little
Broken.
broken, right?
You know what? It's very interesting. I actually like that word. It's broken. It's a broken instrument. Okay. It's all buy, all sell. They wanna offside people, get people, in a position. Dude, it traded 64. I got a text from a friend, 64 in silver. It was like 8 o'clock at night. Then we happen to be long it. We would have been stuck if we could even sell it, but we had SLV. It only trades, basically in the morning. By the time I woke up, I was up $3. I mean, where are you seeing that? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
until silver and gold have a yeah, their volatility falls off. I don't think you're trading silver and gold here.
well, I listen. I don't know. You're incinerated at 64, literally incinerated, and then you wake up and it's 78. I mean, come on. That's like 20% in an hour. I mean, that is crazy. And that's the problem. What's happened is the meme retail or whatever, or retail, has entered products that have been very, very good for a while. Okay. But what's happened is the internet, okay, or whatever, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all of these sites have like, gold member, the guy's dropping out of a helicopter with silver. And I mean, it's like, why do you not? I mean, you're getting hit with these ads. Why do you not have silver? Silver is the answer. And all of a sudden, and you can see it, we saw it in the volumes. And I'd like to check the volumes over the next, couple of weeks. It's got to slow down. They're all in. So they're all in. Now it's back to what, $80? I mean, they're still down 30-40%, just like Bitcoin, but they were down even more. And this thing could get a lot worse, a lot worse. I mean, silver to me should not be over $40. There's so much silver around that I know you think there's not. There's so much silver. Everyone I run into is looking to sell silver. Okay. Everybody has it. Listen, like, how many people have a Rolex watch? A lot, but not everyone. Everyone has silver. Everybody. Everybody. I got silver. I don't even know I have it, and I have it. Okay. I have a silver set that was given to us when we got married. Okay. It's just sitting there. Listen, we've never used it, but at 100, maybe it's a great level to punt it out, right? So there's so much silver around that people have been holding on to for 20, 30, 40. This is silver I've owned for over basically 35 years. So and we saw refiners aren't even taking it in. So, all of the mantra, like I heard it this weekend, oh, it's in satellites, oh, it's in data centers, oh, it's here. I mean, not it's not prevalent right now. Now listen, is it worth more than $30? Probably, but I don't know the level. And now you have bad longs in it. It could get really bad. I mean, it could. So, we touched a little on silver and gold. The equity markets, I still believe, want to go lower. Okay. You gotta, Friday is a one hit wonder, a big hit because it went crazy. But it just located us off the low. But what do we get down to on S&P? 6750. I mean, I'm not saying we can be there today or whatever, but I mean that is easily obtainable in any type of correction. That's not even a correction. So, I mean, I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm just seeing, this craziness of them buying, all these stocks. And I don't know, like look at the Dow, like Caterpillar, okay? Caterpillar, whatever. Is that, I mean, I guess it's a great stock because it's gone ballistic, but who's trading a $750 stock? Caterpillar was like a $30 name forever. You know,
Well,
it's
it's part of the AI trade, Caterpillar.
Caterpillar's AI. Their tractors have AI in them. No.
Part of the AI trade, I mean, for all the data center build out, you need Caterpillar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like if you're
To make it
investing
a
in Caterpillar,
wait, to make it a $400
you
billion
your
company.
valuably, but now Dow Jones is.
Eric, listen, I was thinking about this Sam Altman over the weekend because I saw Oracle was up. I'm wondering why, but it's probably because they're canceling everything they're going to do with that guy. Okay. I mean, that guy is the fraudster. Okay. He has $1 trillion of signed deals that he has to pay $1 trillion, not the companies he does. How is he paying $1 trillion for anything? I mean, I don't even, I mean, what does he do? You know, I don't get it, but it was very interesting. There was a Coinbase commercial last night that I actually thought should have been a Chat GBT commercial. It was a great commercial. I forgot what song it was, but it kept asking questions. And I'm like, what? I thought it should have been Google or whatever. Somehow it was a Coinbase commercial. But I mean, I don't know what the guy's doing, honestly. And
Did you watch the Super Bowl yesterday? What'd you think?
yeah, yeah, it was probably the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen, ever. Actually, I shouldn't say that. There were some really blowout games. The Raiders had a blowout a couple of years ago.
All
Um,
you got to know is the field goal kicker won the MVP. That was basically the Super Bowl.
oh yeah,
That never happens.
yeah, and you know what's funny? The under over on the game was an under the whole game. And then at the last drive, if New England did something, they would have been over. So, it's just an interesting, very, that guy from New England, their quarterback, Drake May, will probably never see the Super Bowl again in his career. He had he had a dream walk in. Like if you looked at New England's schedule this year, I mean, it was the easiest schedule, and then the playoffs, they literally walked in by playing no one. So whatever, but they got there and they deserved it. But he showed me nothing. I mean, zero. Couldn't complete a wide open pass. It was really bad. But I don't really want to talk about the Super Bowl that much. A lot to talk about here. Bitcoin's in the 68,000 handle. What do you think? What do you think? 68,900, low
Uh,
6,500 on a fake out overnight where no one saw it. Really, the low I would say is 65,000, 64,000. I mean, I believe it could get there in the next day or two, without problem. I don't know why we popped off the low. Maybe you do. I don't know. It almost seems like Friday was a total rig. Earnings were terrible, right? After the close, right?
on
No,
Friday.
market traded down 80
You're talking
handles.
about Friday earnings.
Yeah, Friday earnings, Thursday's earnings were bad, okay, out of
Okay.
Amazon, okay, the big gorilla, but they don't care. They bought Nvidia because Jensen Huang said things are amazing again for the 100th time. And they're selling H20 chips and whatever he's doing. Dude, that guy would never say anything is slow. Dude, his factory could be filled with chips and not selling, and he would never tell you. He is he is the poster child for what's wrong with disclosure and earnings. And it's very interesting. That leads me into I have a webinar this week called Money Calls, and basically what I've done over my career is I've come up with a way to really go through calls with CEOs and get ideas of exactly what they're thinking and really what they're saying when they're not really saying anything. So I think it's an interesting webinar. We'll have a little more on it probably tomorrow, but it'll be an interesting watch this week. So keep an eye out for that. Um, but like bond, you got a little bit of a bond reprieve down to like 422. I don't know what you think there. I know you like bonds.
It's interesting about bonds. There's a lot actually going on from the AI side. A bunch of these AI companies are going to be trying to sell a lot of bonds. You heard about all that Capex Google and Amazon wants to spend this year. Which, by the way, in Friday's rally, we had a huge rally on Friday. Guess the two stocks that did not participate in that. You didn't talk about earnings. Well, it was Google and Amazon. And so I was watching that and I thought, you know what? I think what's happening is, like you say, the mantra changed overnight. What part of the reason the market fell was Anthropic came out with a product and everybody was like, okay, software is definitely done. And on Friday, when they saw the rally, they're like, well, this is going to be another deep seek moment where everybody panics that there's all this competition out there and the market recovers. But I think this was a false sense of hope. I think software was already falling. So whatever Anthropic came out with, there were issues in software to begin with. And the real issue is capex. I don't think we're going to see what the bond market in the investment grade bond market in AI is going to reveal to us this week. So I would actually keep an eye on that. But if those bond sales don't go as planned, we could see a big leg lower. That's one thing. The other thing, Japan, the prime minister consolidated power over there. And so the market thinks there's going to be a lot of spending. I think that's why we gapped up yesterday. So, you and I were texting like, why is the market gapping up here? Unbelievably, I think it was because of Japan. And that kind of reverberates into.
Nah, I don't. I listen. Japan's exploded in the last 2 years. It's up 45% in the last
Here's the
basically.
biggest headline. Here's the
I
biggest headline I saw last night. Here's the biggest headline related to bonds. China
uh,
instructed China instructed their banks to curb U.S. Treasury exposure.
well, it hasn't
That
really had it hasn't had an impact on our bond market. We're 422. We were 430. I think bonds are in no man's land for a while. I think that European bonds and Asian bonds are getting hammered. Okay. We're somehow holding up with the prospect of them basically cutting rates. But I think overall, it's uh, it's going to be it's going to be a little shaky out there. Um, I I don't understand. I just what I don't understand is the feel of the market, how they can change the feel off of one. It's literally, Eric, it's one rig day. It was just a rig day. The bottom line is the mantra is still in that earnings have not been good. Okay. What happened on Friday was, that it was a big expiration for options, and they jammed people. And like, if you look at Bitcoin, the low on the weekend, because I've been watching Bitcoin, I'm really focused on that trading lower here. Um, but like the low on Bitcoin over the weekend was 67 handle. Okay, I mean that is probably where we're going here on the first leg down. And then my question is, how do they? I mean, they were so happy. Guys are long Bitcoin at 130, 120, 110, 100, 95. It's 68. I mean, they actually think in their heart that it's coming back to 100,000. And it may at some point, but it may also go to 40,000. Like, listen, I just don't. I still, you're my resident Bitcoin guy. I don't know, but the technology is antiquated. Okay, it, the kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mother. They want to be paid in Bitcoin. You know why? Because they believe it's untraceable, even though it is traceable. Also in Bitcoin, there was a Korean company that gave $22 billion by accident to their customers. I mean, this thing is so scary. Like, it's unbelievable. And to have it non-regulated is bizarre, you know? Like, they think the kidnappers think they're getting this money and no one can track it. Okay, which is not true. But I'm very, very cautious on it. I think the longs are bad. Listen, there are stocks like even Oracle I saw was up this morning, and it's one of my favorite stocks. Okay. I like the company, but the stock is broken because it did deals with this maniac. Okay. This guy is a maniac. Do you understand? The deals that he is doing and has done are unsustainable, and he's a maniac, and he keeps doing them, you know? So I think people involved with that guy are not being perceived in a good light. So, I think, there may be another leg lower here in the market. I could be wrong, but it feels that way to me. And, again, it's just a weird tape. The Dow Jones made a record all-time high above 50,000. As that's happening, Nasdaq is down on the year. Okay. So what is this? The same trade? They're just running into garbage, which, you want to know what? It's not garbage. How could the Dow be garbage if it's at an all-time high? How could it be garbage? Like, they're buying the stocks left behind. Left behind, this stuff's at a record high. How is it left behind?
Do you think that's a trade that will carry forward for the rest of the year? Long Dow, short Nasdaq.
Uh, I mean, I think you can run that mantra for a little bit of time, but you know, uh, I don't know.
I think,
Eric,
yeah, I think so. I think so.
I mean, but my question that's better, and it's
Mine,
really a question, it's a question for people that are watching that have been in the market for a while. Like, my thought is, why do they have to buy something? Like, why, if they're getting killed in technology stocks, software, etc., how do they have the money to roll out of that on the low and then go buy Dow or go buy small cap? Like, they're destroyed. Why? Like, in markets that I've traded in my career, people go to cash. You get out of the market. You don't. There is no place to hide. Now, if tech is bad, the Dow is good. Does that make any sense?
um,
Get this
well,
thing.
does that? Do you think there are no opportunities and value plays right now? I'm seeing opportunities where I want to be outright long some of the stuff. Home builders, as you know, some of the healthcare names.
Right.
I think the fact that we're still, in earnings season, you get that kind of price action where a lot of stuff is
But
green, a lot of
what do
stuff.
we have what do we have left in earnings season? Like Nvidia? Like, I think everyone's reported pretty much
Yeah,
Apple,
but we're still
Amazon.
getting we're still getting we're still getting earnings reports coming out.
I know,
So
but from nobody big. How many Mag 7 are left to report? One?
it doesn't matter. What it does is it creates a 24-hour narrative for a particular sector
Dude,
and
there was no. I'm going to be honest with you. There is no narrative. Friday's narrative was to bust people. We will go back down and take that low.
right. So
I
I'm
believe.
thinking, okay, I struggle to find a narrative, but what I think people are who actually do any kind of research. You have part of the people that do no research and they're like, "Let's just buy." That's the gambling mentality. Real traders that are actually bullish on Friday, I think what they're thinking was, this is just another deep seek moment where the market panics and then you buy it back. I disagree with them, but I think that's part of their thought process here.
Yeah.
So, what are you seeing for today? Levels, SPX? Is this an iron condor kind of day or no?
Stop, dude. You got to stop. Honestly, you got to. We have customers here that are trading that are real. You got to stop. No more iron condor days. There's no iron condor day. There's no day that, listen, I've been 8 or 9 for 9 in my spread trading product this year. Okay. Slower than normal. Usually I give about 20 trades by this time. I'm picking my spots. We made money on Friday. We pick our spots. We're not iron condoring. We're basically picking a market direction. Like today, I think the market could potentially go down more than people think. So I don't really want to touch the downside, and there may be a no trade today, but if the market happens to come up, then I feel more comfortable about that. But I'm not just throwing out an iron condor without a direction on a, the straddle I believe was $40. I don't know where it is now, maybe
Yeah, same.
lower.
Yep, that's where it's at.
So I don't love it. I don't love it. And I just think Friday was a misdirection day, to basically, confuse people. And my question is, let me ask you this. This is a question. If we started the day down there and ended at 6,700 on the futures or 6,750, what do you think we'd be talking about today? How about a blow up? I mean, come on, dude. We were an inch away from a full blow up.
It was a
Literally.
kick. Another, but I struggle to find like the the headline for Friday.
Oh, the
I'm
headline was Nvidia.
lines,
Nvidia.
but
What do you mean?
go ahead.
Nvidia came out with a positive headline that offset Amazon and anything else that was down by a lot, and that's why we opened up. And then that stock went ballistic all day. That's the same stock that I got calls from 20 people on freaking out that they should have hedged their position, or what do they do? And then it goes up, $10, $12 or whatever, and now everybody's fine. They're sitting home and they don't have to do anything. So that's that's the mantra that I'm looking at.
Yeah,
Is
the Bulls
that
got I think the Bulls got a big gift on Friday, and they should use that gift very wisely. You know,
they don't
um,
think what dude, are you honestly telling me you think people sell? Who is selling? Tell me, dude, they've held Nvidia for 9 months. They're down money, and you think they're selling right now?
that's
Honestly.
why I said they should use that gift wisely
Eric,
that
the
came on.
public never sells. You got to get that sell thing out of your head. Now, listen, people on this podcast are more trader like, and that's something different. But overall, that public is never selling. You know why? Because if it goes up, they'll cry that they missed it. Dude, until you started working with me, you were a product of that environment. You
Oh,
would
I
bring up
was.
Netflix every day. Every day. You sold Netflix. I had to hear about Netflix for like 6 months every
And was
day.
I right? And was I right about Netflix?
I have no idea. I just know you sold it and you talked about it every day. Like I
Yeah,
buy and sell things and then I don't talk about it. Like I was
I know.
trading Oracle heavily when it was over $200. Okay? We're not trading it heavily right now. Okay? We're looking for an area to buy it. We don't know, but no, we never look back. I never look back. But that's the public, dude. That's why,
Well,
dude, if
I think
Bitcoin
look,
goes,
Friday created a lot of interesting opportunities. Uh, did you take advantage of any of them at the end of the day for this week or no? Like, what did you see anything to do, or did you just kind of hold back, let the market do what it wants to do, and kind of attack it this week? I was putting on positions in like 3, 4 for this week that I was hoping I would get a chance to get into, and I think Friday served it up on a silver platter.
didn't feel that way last night. That platter was broken, son. Yeah, it served it up when we were up 40 handles on air. Yeah, it served it up. Dude.
One of those plays I put on. So I've been short Rigetti, and this I had $17 puts going into Friday, and the thing is trading under 15 on Friday. It goes above 17. I'm like, damn it. But what I wanted to put on, and I had a chance to put on since Rigetti popped, I shorted it more, and I bought IBM on a long short 2-to-1 ratio. So that's 2 times more IBM, and you got your Rigetti, so it's weighted more or less according to Vol. Both are quantum computing plays, and so that's one of those kinds of plays that I put on Friday.
Nice. We'll keep an eye on it. I mean, I don't know. Rigetti is, where's the stock? I was looking at it at like $15. I don't know where it is.
1727 as we speak. Should be in the single digits, I think, at some point. So just
Yeah.
building that.
You really think so?
Yeah. So what do you think of gold and silver? You think we're out of the consolidation, or
No, I
we're
think
still?
it's a total fade. I think, but what I don't understand is it's so risk on. It's so risk on, risk off. It's almost better to trade that than the S&P. Like, you know, um, it's it's just it's just weird. That's all I could say. It's a very weird thing. Um, it When the market's falling, it falls more than the market. When the market's rallying on a percentage basis, it goes up a lot more. I mean, where is it? 5,000? Dude,
Gold?
the thing traded the low of the move on Friday at like 4,600. I mean, it's up like over 10% in a day. Silver got to 64. It's up 20%. It's trading, well, now it's below 80, but it's trading $80. I mean, that's not freaking you out on these moves.
I mean, yeah, that's what we're in. I've been looking for a period of consolidation. I just hope we're not. I didn't miss it. That's what I'm hoping.
Miss
Because
what?
I want to get long gold, but I want to
Time
get
out.
long
Time
gold
out. Miss
until
what?
it falls.
Buying gold?
Yeah, buying.
Okay, dude. All right, whatever. Dude, I don't even see gold.
I don't want to buy it here. I'm not. I'm not
I don't
planning on
even
buying.
see I don't even see gold um as a trade. I mean, yeah, it's a trade. You're just doing risk on, risk off. But like, I don't know. Gold, the low was like 4,500 on Friday or 4,600. The high was 5,500. So literally, it's
Well, the low of the
20%.
move from February 2nd, the low, like the low of the move was what, 4,400, right?
Was it that
We're at
low? Come on, it
yeah,
was that low.
on the cash. Yeah, I'm looking at the cash. I don't know about the futures, but um, I hope we're still in consolidation mode. I hope I can get 4,700 again. My thought was that it would kind of bounce up and down that 4,800 level, which
Listen, the one thing I'm going to tell people about gold out there, or silver even more, okay? It's very forgiving trade. It moves a ton and you got to, hold your whats, but it always gives you a chance. Like this market, come on, I was long it overnight at 75. It traded 64. You don't think you're getting that back in your career of trading. How are you getting back 15% in a career? And then I wake up in the morning, I'm up money, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Unprecedented times in gold and silver. Unprecedented, 100%.
It's pretty unbelievable. But, you know, listen, a lot, I don't know what's going to happen today, but a lot of the risk on stuff is getting hit. Um,
It's
it,
getting
it,
hit, but software, right? So, what is the risk on
no,
stuff?
no,
I
I'm not talking like individual stocks or sectors. I'm talking like Bitcoin and, like why Bitcoin's going to go back, it looks like in the 67 handle. And then, like, you look at stocks like Robinhood, to me, makes no sense. Okay. They're running Robinhood 20% because Bitcoin went up like 6%. They think everything is okay. I mean, I think that group is in big trouble. This thing isn't coming out anytime soon of this move that I see. I mean, they let me ask you this. You're long Bitcoin, you're long it at 100. You're long it at 110. It goes to 60,000. Let me ask you this. What is your next play? Like what is your next play in Bitcoin? Tell me what you would do. That's you. You're long it up. First of all, hopefully you wouldn't be long down here if you bought it at 100 and it's trading at 65. Okay. But what's your next play? What's the next play? Buy
It
more?
depends.
Like,
It depends on the on who the Bitcoin holder is. If they're long term, set it and forget it. I would try to
Eric,
take
can
advantage
I
of
say
levels.
something to you? There is no person in my 40 plus year career that is a set it and forget it. Okay. If you're set it and forget it, why are you looking at it every day? Set it and forget it. Why are you calling people to complain? Like, why are you looking to now hedge? Nobody is set. Who could be set it and forget it? I mean, who is that? I mean, that's no one that's ever worked in the annals of time. I mean, and the funny thing about Bitcoin to me is it's not real. It's just not a real thing. It's just not real. I couldn't even imagine how many transactions are actually taking place on Bitcoin on a day. It's probably like 5. Like who needs Bitcoin? Why would Eric Shamalov need Bitcoin? Okay? Let me ask you,
I'll,
how much have you ever transacted on Bitcoin? You're
right
Mr.
now, Eric
Bitcoin.
Schaff does not need Bitcoin. Does not
What?
need Bitcoin. Right now, I don't need Bitcoin. You don't
No, but
need
I'm saying
Bitcoin.
you've
But
never
slowly,
transacted. You have
financial
never made a
institutions,
transaction on Bitcoin, on the
financial
actual
institutions
Bitcoin.
are using financial institutions are using crypto to enhance their transaction business
Why?
globally.
I have this thing that has Zelle on it, Venmo, and 3 other things that I can maneuver money
Obviously, there's a reason,
instantaneously.
right?
Wait,
If
hold
they're
on.
they're getting
That's
their final value,
protected. Time out. That's protected by my bank. Okay. It's coming out of my Bank America account at my bank. Okay. And my bank is basically in control of that, where Bitcoin, your money could be stolen right now. Even out of Coinbase, it could be hacked. I mean, who needs that? Who needs that? I mean, they do need it. Illegal people, guys kidnapping people, people selling drugs, bookmakers, which don't really exist as much anymore. But back in the day when this first started, this was a a bookmaker, thing to use. Only wanting to transact in what they thought was untraceable. This stuff is traceable. That's what people don't understand. It's traceable. So I just think it's an antiquated technology,
I think
and that's
everybody
what it
wants
is.
to buy it and at the right price. I think
Eric, it shouldn't have a price. My
right.
Zelle doesn't have a price. Why does
But
this
you
have a
think
price?
right, but you also think gold and silver shouldn't have a price.
Listen to me. No, I did not say that. I never said that. I think this should not have a price. That's just my opinion. One
Okay.
guy's opinion. It should not have a price. It should not fluctuate 10% a day. It makes it unoperational. When I send you money on Zelle, guess what happens? My money is the same no matter what. I send you $50, it's $50 all day long, every day. This $50 could be $46. How could banks or any institution do business when they don't know exactly what the value of what they're transferring is? It's very weird. That's all I'm saying. I mean, this was silver and gold before silver and gold. This is just a meme. This is just what they're trading. Does Today it could be 68, tomorrow 71, then 65, then 76. Like why? Why? Like why? What? It's not earnings. It's not revenues. What is it that makes it more valuable? It's just more buyers and sellers. This could be what Bitcoin could be silver, it could be gold, it could be whatever. It's really, you know, it's really bad. And then what I would say to you, which is really more disturbing to me than anything that I see out there, is no matter where this goes, no one is going to sell. No one is going to sell. Nobody. So the question is, the next leg lower, is it going to bounce back? Can this thing go to 30, 40,000 and make people blow up? Like there is a level. Listen, in 2008 financial crisis would never have happened unless people got in trouble and needed money. So people were pulling money from my hedge fund. If my hedge fund had a Ponzi scheme like Bernie Madoff, it would have been big trouble because I wouldn't have had the money to return. So Bernie would have never been uncovered unless people redeemed out of Bernie Madoff. He would have never, ever been uncovered. Okay. So the financial crisis happened because people needed cash. We're not at that level, but at some point, listen, if we have a 20% correction in equities, which,
That's why anything falls. Actually, it's because it's not because they want to sell it; it's because they need to sell it.
right, which is my point. Nobody sells even up money. If someone bought Bitcoin today at 60,000, do you think they'd sell at 100,000? Not a
That's
chance.
what I think was happening with Bitcoin, and I think that one of the reasons Bitcoin fell so hard is because the incremental Bitcoin buyer, let's say, is I think always in the same stocks. That incremental Bitcoin buyer is in Palantir. They're in every single AI trade you can think of. They're in Robinhood. Well, these stocks have been getting crushed since October, and they're buying options. They're losing money on it. They need to re up. They're always buying calls. They never buy puts,
Yeah, but I got to
and so
call. I got to
they have
call.
to sell some Bitcoin to finance some of those laws. So it turned into a
Yeah,
little
but
bit of a
Eric, but listen,
negative feedback loop, I think.
dude, let's look at it though. That is not the case. Okay. These stocks have been falling, but the acceleration has really been more this year. And Bitcoin last year traded 71,000 off the down move. So it was already at 71,000. Okay. Now these stocks are getting hit more, I think, because of Bitcoin. Um, and it's weird to me, like to look at a stock like Robinhood and maneuver it off the price of Bitcoin up and down 10% is bizarre. It's a bizarre thing. And people are, you know, people are just sitting here like looking at this stuff and they're mesmerized. But we're chatting a lot. We're like 10 minutes before the opening. Again, I bonds are, in no man's land, not really seeing a trade there. Bitcoin looks a little weak. Probably could trade down to 65 or 64,000 back to where the original low was. See if anybody's a true seller. But I don't think it comes out of here that fast. Currencies, they're moving around pretty decently. Dollar weakness again.
Yeah, currency vol is back, man. Currency vol is back.
You think?
I think it's back. I think there's a lot. There's going to be a lot of opportunities in
I
forex
mean, the
this year.
euro is back. The dollar is back on the low at like 119 and change. We're waiting to put it back on at 120. The yen is
Uh,
actually back to 155. And really, I mean, stuff is looking like Bitcoin is down today, but altcoins are actually down a little bit more. I know no one really pays attention to that, but Ethereum is back to 2000. It got down to 1800. I mean, we're at levels we haven't seen in a couple of years. So, there's a lot of wounded ducks. The market, is going to open down a little bit today, like 10 handles. Look out after running 270 on Friday. And, you know, that's what I see. You like Iron Condor today. I'm
Well,
afraid.
I like Iron Con, like where, right? So, um, they asked me in the chat what do I think. I told them 69.65 calls, 68.60 puts. I think that's the range for today. Is it going to get dicey? I actually hope it does get. I hope that Condor gets dicey to the downside. I don't think it's going to get dicey to the upside. But I think those levels should probably hold for today, just because
Now, where is it?
I'm looking at I'm looking at the tape pre-market, and like software is up today. A lot of the other beta names you mentioned are
Nice.
down, so it just kind of feels like it's going to be a mixed bag in the tape. And they're off a very strong Friday. I mean, do you think they're going to give up the whole thing in one day? I doubt it. So
Oh,
that's kind
dude,
of
listen to me. We're down like 15 handles. I mean, I think we could give it all back. Okay. I'm not saying we could
one
give it
day,
all back
one day,
today. I did
right?
not. I didn't say that, but maybe. Listen, stranger things have
I
happened. The
hope
market is the market is ridiculous. The market is ridiculous. How we can't have a down day, like we can't have a down move every time they come back and they just buy them back. It's very weird action. So I think the market is
yeah, that action is going to get cracked right through the middle,
what is.
and that kind of action where it's like up and down, you buy one thing, sell another. I think you're going to get a few days where that whole trade is going to get rocked this year. Like everything, I think is going to
Well,
have a
I
good.
think you're looking at the Dow. You're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It is so. Listen, I mean, if that's where they're hiding, I don't know how it's going to work for them, but
You know what
we'll
the big
see.
short? I think there are two shorts just sitting there waiting for confirmation, and they're almost like sitting ducks. Like if the market really starts falling, when headlines start reading mass exodus from the AI, like at some point, right? I think there are two stocks you got to look at: Caterpillar, which is a Dow Jones stock, and Micron.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see how all of that goes. On to the opening. Be careful out there. It's going to be a little slippery slope. Markets, listen, they had to throw in the Air National Guard to get us down like 15 points on the day. So, you know, we'll, we'll sort of see how everything rings out. And I wish everybody good luck trading today. I don't know if there's anything you want to end on, but we're really close to the opening. And I want to go. So that's
Good
it.
luck, everyone.
Keep an
Good
eye on
luck.
your inbox for subscribers to the Opportunistic Trader. Keep your eye on your inbox. We're going to get a lot more active in here. There's going to be a lot going on. So keep an eye on your inbox and we'll be giving you guys trades. So enjoy. Peace.